Hi, we are Group 4 and my name is Yi
My name is Jax.
My name is Xingpei.
I'm Joshua.
I'm Jiekai.
Welcome to NTU Sichuan Delights. Today we'll be bringing you guys through our restaurant reservation and point of sale system. The current time now is 5:01 p.m. and let's take a look at our table layout. So currently we have one table which is occupied and 4 tables which are reserved for customers later on. So the first test case that we can try is to have a customer try and walk in right now. So we can try to walk in customer. Walk in. And let's say this customer has a reservation, let's say this customer has a customer ID registered. And let's use ID number 59646. For PAX number 2, we see that the system is able to tell us that there are no available tables at the moment, as 4 of them are reserved and 1 of them is occupied. So the next thing we can try and do is to try to make a reservation for this current time period. So we can try and make reservation, walk in or making reservation, making a new reservation. And let's say this customer is not registered with us. We can try to make a customer name for him. Hello. And let's say his group size will be 3. And let's try to make a reservation for this current time period, which is 1700. So we see that this is an invalid input as reservations can only be made in advance. So let's try to make a reservation for the next hour. And so a reservation slip is printed, and so his reservation is taken. So we can go back and take a look at the table status right now. So his reservation has been added at 1600 hours. So now we can try to take an order for the table which is occupied, table number 1. To do that, we can go into the main menu and manage order. We can create an order. And what this does is it pulls out the table layout once again, and we are asked to enter a table ID. To create an order, we can only enter a table ID which is occupied. So if we try to enter table ID number 2, we get an error message that table ID entered is not an occupied table. Hence, we can only enter table ID number 1. So this pulls out the menu for ease of access for the staff. And so let's try to create an order for this table. We can enter item ID number 13. And let's say we do not want to add any more items. We have to then enter the staff ID. And now we can display the order for this table. Table number 1. So this is the order for table number 1. And in this slip, we can see the order ID, table number, staff ID, and also the staff name who took the order. So from here, we can continue to update the order. Let us try to add the item. So let's add item number 11 and quit. So now this shows the updated order for table number 1, which is a lunch set meal and an iced lemon tea. So now we are done with this order. And let's say the customer is done with his meal and he wants to make payment. We can go into manage payment and make payment and generate invoice. So what this does is it will pull up the table who has not paid for his meal, and the current table which has not paid is only table ID number 1. We can try to enter other table IDs, and we see that table 2 has no order attached to it, and it brings us back to the main menu. So we can try to make payment once again for table number 1. So after making payment, the invoice is printed. The invoice contains the item ID of what the customer has ordered, the table number, and also the date and time. And so we can see the customer's order and grand total price that has to be paid. So there's no more payment to be made. Now we can take a look at the table status. So once payment has been made, the table will automatically be the status will be changed from occupied to free. So now let's check in the guests who have made a reservation. We can go to the main menu, manage reservations, check them in, and we can check in reservation. So what we need from them would be their customer ID, and so their customer ID will be 93851. So now we have just walked in a customer who did not make a reservation. Let's try to walk in a customer who has made a reservation once again. For 1024. So here we can see that the reservation has been fulfilled. And this time around, it doesn't ask us for the number of packs as this information was already captured when they made the reservation. Now let's take a look at the table details. So now we can see that our table status has been updated. We have one customer which walked in and also one customer which fulfilled their check-in status for their reservation. So now we can take a look at our other functions of the restaurant reservation point of sale system. We can go into our menu items. We can print our whole menu. So this shows the whole menu that we have in the restaurant. In here, we can create a new menu item, remove a new menu item, and update a new menu item. Let's try to create a new promotional package. And let's name this promotion package Sichuan Meal. And the description of this would be soup and dessert. Let's price this at $14. Total number of a la carte items in the package will be 2. So let us have item number 3 and item number 4. So as you can see here, a new promotion package will be added to the menu, and we can then print the menu once again. So our new promotion package has been added into the menu and is item ID number 16. So now there's nothing else to edit in the menu. And another thing we can do is to edit table details. In here, we can try and create table or remove table. Let's try creating one table. And let's try table ID number 1. So this is where error checking comes in, where table ID number 1 already exists and we are unable to create a duplicate table. So let's try to create a table which does not exist. Table ID number 9 and its desired capacity of 7. Here we receive invalid table capacity as each table can only have even number of people. Let's try once more to create a table with 10 packs. So here a table with capacity of 10 has been added, and now we can display the table status once again. So here table number 9 has been added into our table layout. The next function that we'll be going through would be printing of the sales report. Generating of sales report can be found in the main menu, number 5. We can generate a sales report by day or by month. Let's try by month first. Let's try to first input a date that was before today, the 12th of November 2021. So we found that there are no records for yesterday. Let's try to find a record for tomorrow. Here, we have inputted an invalid input and error checking comes in once again. So let's try generating sales report once again by day for 14th of November 2021. So here is able to let us know that we have entered a future date and this is not possible. So finally, let's generate a sales report for today. So this was the sales report for today, and this sales report consists of the payment that was made just now, as there are no other sales report. We can also try to generate a sales report by month, inputting in the current month. We get the same results. So once again, there's no more sales report needed. We can go back to the main menu. We can manage restaurant and take a look at the table status once again. So we can see that there are still 3 tables which are under the reserve status at 5 p.m. Our system has a function that will automatically remove these tables once 15 minutes of the reservation time has been passed. Hence, this means that these reservations that you see here will automatically be removed at 5:15 p.m. Just wait a while more before we see how this is automatically removed. Okay, it's now 5:15. We can display our table status once again. So as you can see, our table status has changed. The reservations at 5 p.m. have been removed. So now we can return back to our main menu. The last feature that we will showcase in our RRPSS will be the ability to save our data into databases. So at the end of the day, we can save and exit application. And from here on, the program will terminate and data will be saved into the databases. This means that when we run the application once again, when we take a look at our menu items, it will capture whatever changes we have made previously. So the promotion item that we created is still here even after the application closed. And this ensures business continuity. And with that, we have come to the end of our RRPSS showcase. Thank you.